Have you ever heard of a person describe themselves as a gamer? What is that exactly? Well, we'd have to look at our past, but it is greatly known that one of the earliest video games in our history was Pong. Pong was released by Atari in the 1970s, and while the first Pong arcade cabinets were typically found in bars, it allowed up to 2 players, which began a social and competitive attraction among people that would later become gamers.
Damn it!
So, what is it to be a gamer in America today?
The way I see it, it's just someone who enjoys playing video games of any sorts, PCs, Xbox, any kind of game that's virtual.
I would think mostly a gamer would be anyone who enjoys playing video games both by himself or herself and also with other people.
Being honestly, 10 years ago a gamer was someone who played games. Nowadays you find games everywhere that to just stereotype playing games as a gamer, probably not accurate.
There's like so many loose definitions. To me, it's somebody who enjoys just gaming, and it's any kind. It's board gaming, it's video game, anything.
Someone that's enthralled by playing games of any kind, I guess.
Like most gamers in my generation, my earliest memory of playing games began with Super Mario Bros. On the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Atari 2600. A few days after Christmas, sitting there in my diaper playing Frogger. That was the very first video game I ever played. Big square black box with the joystick and the one orange button up in the corner, just sitting there just ad nauseum, just tapping, getting across the lanes, trying not to get squished.
Growing up with my sister and I playing Super Mario on the NES and Punch-Out.
Crash Bandicoot.
Pokemon Silver, my Game Boy Color, which I still have. It's a little bit ghetto. It has no spring in the back, so I have to use a piece of foil for the batteries to conduct.
Definitely playing the original Nintendo system, Mario Brothers, Duck Hunt.
Silent Hill 2 is one of my top favorite games, mostly because of its dark psychological storytelling, haunting soundtrack, and great voice acting.
I'm here for you, James. See? I'm real.
Resident Evil's, the whole series, I guess, but 2, it's probably one of the biggest ones because I used to play it when a kid, and that was like the first one that would kind of keep me at the edge of my seat, you know what I mean? That just kind of creeped you out because of the limited ammo and zombies.
Ratchet and Clank. It's just a fun action-based platforming game. I like playing it over and over. It never loses its quality.
In the exact center of the universe! Give or take 50 feet.
Zelda, hands down, Zelda. Any Zelda, but my favorite one is Twilight Princess, just because I kick ass at it. The fastest I beat it was 22 hours on the gameplay of it. Got every item, every heart piece, all that.
Final Fantasy VII, for the obvious, it was fantastic. The other one would, of course, be StarCraft. I spent too many hours playing StarCraft.
Games today have a wide variety of genres to choose from, suiting an individual's personal taste.
Uncharted coming out this month. Third-person shooters always are good.
Essentially interrupted him. And because I was able to interrupt him, I killed him without him doing a point of damage to me. Oops, there's that range guy I killed earlier.
Being a gamer today includes a very large network of people that are connected through the internet, allowing gamers to play and interact with each other.
Go like online, do online play and talk with other people. But make sure you gotta have like a headset first, so otherwise you'll just be silenced and they'll like, go cheater, cheater, cheater.
Social aspect matters. You know, I have a tight knit of friends that play games. I think that's a social aspect, getting on and chatting with your buddies. But obviously, the people that play the same kind of games is kind of limited. So obviously, you know, playing Gears, that's a social event as well. Madden came out with like something to elaborate, like a Facebook-esque kind of thing, like elaborating on the social needs of a gaming community, so to speak.
Internet, online, a team started to develop, and then, you know, groups started to form, like little mini gangs, I guess is the best way to call it. The social aspect today, I mean, we've all seen that commercial where, what was it, 1 in 5 dates are online, you know, from online. And it's only getting bigger. I've met some very quality friends from all over the world.
For me, like the social thing with it now is way different when I was younger. When I was younger, you just played video games, you bragged about it with your friends at school. Like now you don't need to brag about it because it posted on your Facebook and it shows on your online account and you have trophies and achievements and stuff. So like it's different for that now. Like I think now as kids, when you buy video games, it's sort of like a pissing match out there to see who can do things better and who can have the higher trophy level and stuff. Whereas when you were a kid, you could totally just, you know, you could lie about that and be like, oh yeah, I'm totally there, you know, and people would be like, bullshit, you're not.
You win.
Over the years, there have been many companies that have attempted to introduce new gaming consoles, which led to high competition between developers. Although many companies did not survive, there are now 3 main companies that currently dominate the console market today.
I own a Nintendo DS, a Game Boy Color, a GameCube, and a Wii. The best on the market probably is, I'd probably say the PS3. It's either the PS3 and Xbox 360, but personally I think the PS3 games have better gameplays.
PS3, Xbox, Wii, and handhelds, but obviously those maybe not be. But what ones be the best? Probably my favorite as of right now is PS3, just because the capabilities, the games coming out for it in the year, I think are better titles than Xbox.
Zeus! Your son has returned.
PS3 because it handled multiple roles. It gave me the Blu-ray, gave me the gaming station, which I've been attached to Sony since the first PlayStation. So when, say, Xbox came out, it wasn't even a thought in my mind. My biggest one though is the computer. The computer here, by far.
You are not prepared.
I have the Wii, I have 2 PlayStations, and had an Xbox. So there's your answer right there. I've never been into Xbox, got one from my daughter, and she hated it. So we traded it in a few months later. I just think PlayStation is better. You know, it's got Blu-ray capabilities. The games are, you know, broader spectrum. It's for kids all the way up to adults. It's got a little bit of everything for everybody. The Wii's really cool too. Like when we got that, we played the shit out of our Wii. I mean, it's been played through. It's a great system, but there's, you know, when you want to get really good-looking graphics or your hardcore shooter games, you're not going to get those on the Wii.
Personally speaking, as a gamer, I feel I have benefited from improved reaction timing, hand-eye coordination, and visual attention to detail. It is understandable that most gamers may have developed other skills since playing games.
Things, for example, managing multiple variety of people in different age groups. That's a huge key, is a different age group, because you will get the occasional 12, 13-year-old who just bunch of energy, wants to do this, wants to do that, and you on one hand, you want to tell them to shut up, but on the other hand, you're all like, I was the 12-year-old once too.
I think the only thing it's taught me is to lose gracefully, because it's, as being a 33-year-old that gets online and routinely gets shot up in shooter games by 15 to 16-year-olds, if anything, it just makes you humble.
Since the invention of video games, gamers have steadily grown into a large community of different types of people and age groups. Gamers have expanded as far as being able to play games on their cell phones to playing on social networks such as Facebook. What will be the future for the next generation to come?